pouquinho melhor.
Melhorou. Agora, quando ele vira um pouquinho, melhora. Seu computador
Melhorou
não
um
pode
pouco.
virar assim um pouquinho? Bom, tá tudo bem.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It is Wednesday, 15th of April, 2026, and it's time for our spiritual light. So glad to have you all here with us today. As announced, Rodrigo, it is with us every 1 week, every month. He's here with us, and we are very glad to have Rodrigo with us today. And the topic is a very rich topic. We will talk about emotions, and this is very good for us. How we balance our emotions and our spiritual perception. So this is a good talk, a good conversation here. But first of all, let's my friends introduce themselves, and so let's start with the ladies. So good evening, Elsa. How are you, my friend?
Thank you, Stevan. Hello, Charles. Hello, Rodrigo. Hello, our great audience, attendees that you make suggestions, comments in our chat box. It's always a pleasure to be here with you all, especially talking about this subject that a lot of people already wrote to me. Oh, this is a nice subject tonight. Who will be there? Who will be there? I said, Rodrigo. Rodrigo, the baston is with you. You see, tonight. So thank you.
Olá, Rodrigo, ¿cómo estás?
Pues muy bien, ahora me sintiendo con mucha responsabilidad después de de este mensaje de Elsa. Pues muy bien, sí, el tópico de el tema de hoy es bastante interesante. Mucha gente tiene dudas, mucha gente que llega, por ejemplo, al centro tiene muchas dudas sobre estos temas y creo que va a ser un debate bastante interesante y gracias una vez más por permitir estar con vosotros todos aquí, los que nos ven, nos escuchan, este grupo maravilloso que está aquí, que siempre me acoge con mucho cariño. Thank you, everyone. So this is a very nice topic. So many people come to the Spirit Center, Punto de Luz, questioning me about that. So I think it will be a very nice conversation. Thank you so much. I'm very glad to be here, very honored, and feeling a lot of responsibility to talk about this important subject today. So thank you, and hi Elsa, hi Charles, and hi Stevan. So good night.
Thank you, gracias. So bonsoir, Charles.
Bonsoir, Stevan. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Indeed, quite interesting. It's an interesting topic, which is narrowly linked to the spirituality, where the spiritual paradigm is bringing a lot of new clarity on the topic, and we will try to develop that a little bit better today.
Great, thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. So, there's no introduction for today. It is many people today feel deeply. Sometimes some feel intensively, the others not. They sense their surrounding emotions and energies in a way we cannot explain. Sometimes we are happy, but something happened and we are down, or the other way around. Out of blue, we start feeling good, feeling great, with full of energy. So, and we cannot explain. No logical reason to say, okay, I had a salary increase to be happy. But we do feel these moments in every moment, in many times of our day. So Spiritism help us understand that sensitivity is not weaknesses. It's maybe a sign of spiritual perception. Some individuals have a great openness to the invisible world. We call them mediums, whether through intuition, emotional sensitivity, or mediumistic tendencies. Every great minds like Victor Hugo explore the connection between creativity, sensitivity, and the spiritual world. Tonight, we will explore how to understand and balance this sensitivity. So, Rodrigo, since you are our special guest of the day, the first question is for you, my friend. Is heightened sensitivity related to spirituality?
Well, spirituality, in my understanding of what Spiritism brings to us, is a perception of life. I mean, it's looking to the world, or to our lives in a spiritual way. I think, considering that we are immortal spirits, and that we are in this life to learn and to adjust our, let's say, our imperfections in terms of tendencies, emotions and thoughts. But of course, talking about perception, about the spiritual world, if we go to the Medium's book, there's a chapter, I don't know the translation in English, I think it's about the mediums, something like that. And Kardec nominates the sensitivity, I mean, these perceptions about the spiritual world, let's say this way, or the spiritual dimension, a kind of basic mediumship. In theory, all mediums, let's call it ostensive mediums, have this kind of sensitivity about the spiritual world. But many people have this kind of sensitivity, and they don't know what it is about. Some people, sometimes they say, "Oh, I feel like a chilly sense," or sometimes, "Oh, I'm feeling bad, but I don't know why." So I was okay, but suddenly I felt sadness, or I felt, I don't know, some different emotions from what I was feeling some minutes or some seconds ago. This is, of course, something which happens when people have this kind of perception about the spiritual world. I mean, what we are feeling, we are feeling emotions and thoughts, and sometimes physical sensations which are not belonging to us. And this is a kind of mediumship. Mediumship itself, like as Kardec nominated this, is the possibility of translating the thoughts and feeling the perception of the spiritual world. I mean, sometimes we have this feeling, but we not necessarily we are translating what the thoughts or the feelings of the spirits. We are just feeling that there's something going on that we don't know what it is about. And of course, this is a kind of mediumship. Kardec says that everyone, more or less, is a medium. So everyone has this kind of perception. We are spirits, incarnated spirits. So we somehow interact with the spiritual world. Of course, mediumship is an organic faculty which enables the person or the medium to interact more ostensively with the spiritual world. But there are many people who are just having these basic feelings, these basic sensations, and this is something which has to do with also with what we are. And the spirits, they say that our company are we are surrounded by spirits according to who we are. And of course, this kind of relationship with the spiritual world has to do with our thoughts, with our feelings, what we do, and this interaction happens mentally. This is interaction or this interchange or exchange of thoughts. So, and also the capacity to exchange fluids in this sense. And of course, as this impacts our perispirit, which is our spiritual body, and our spiritual body also translates these sensations to our physical body. And we end up feeling things that physically, which is a consequence of this interaction with the spiritual world. So I think that answered the question, Stevan. I don't know if Elsa or Charles.
Yeah, this give you a good start of conversation for us. Thank you. Charles, Elsa, do you have any comments, any addition to what Rodrigo stated?
I can add something quickly, because as I am a medium, I know the sensations. I know when the sensations come with emotions out of the blue, and we have to deal with that. But I was talking with my friend. Imagine a lot of people that have the sensation of mediumship. They don't know what is happening. They have this emotion, start crying out of the blue, and feeling that sometimes the family doesn't know what's happening. Take this person or a young person or an adult or even kids to the psychiatrist or the hospital. What's going on? So the medicine come, take the remedies, and sometimes it's only mediumship that, as Rodrigo pointed, is innate in ourselves. When you have eyes to see properly and go beyond only material help, we can find a good resource in the Spiritist Center. That is a matter that we will develop later on. But we don't think. I'm not saying that. I'm not thinking what I'm doing when this a moment of mediumship comes and take me, and I started crying. I started asking help. But I'm not thinking that I'm the best because I'm the medium. I am medium. Not at all. On the contrary, I am the one that happy to serve, to rescue, to help other people, to talk about, to clarify things when this happens in families or even with individuals on their own. And it's something that is great. We can use these sensations, we can use these emotions in a good way and understand what's going on in me, with me, in my own body, physical body, what this emotion take me in this position. And we have to perceive that and go and find answers, solutions, resources that can bring us comfort to understand what's going on, not a madness. But when people come to Spirit Center, we never say, leave the medication outside. No, Continue with your medication, continue with your doctor, only add these clarifications, these informations that is good for you, and for your side, you can help others. That is simple like that. Inverted commas. Okay? So Charles is with you now.
Charles?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good introduction indeed, and basically, I mean, it's psychiatrists or psychologists are dealing with such things, but often, too often, they limit themselves to the materialist paradigm. So they about the functioning of the brain, about the biochemical reactions in the brain and the hormones and whatever, whilst the spiritist body of knowledge is opening much more the circle to the spiritual realm, which is existing as per the spiritualist paradigm. So it's not only a question of our own body and of chemistry in the brain, but it's also a question of first, the influences of the spirits on us during incarnated period, as we are. And this has been clearly remembered by both by Rodrigo and by Elsa. And second, by the law, which is known as law of affinity. And Rodrigo touched this topic as well. So we attract, there is a kind of an amplification effect. When we have some type of thoughts, let's say good thoughts, we will attract spirits with good thoughts as well, which will amplify these good thoughts and give us even more strength in the way we want to do, for helping others or etc. And but on the other side, when we do not take care about our thoughts, this law of affinity is such that we also attract spirits with the same bad thoughts or less elevated thoughts. And this creates also an amplification effect and kind of a vicious circle. And these both are explaining this sensitivity and basically the emotions we are feeling, because we cannot escape from the emotions. Emotion of fear, emotion of anger in front of something which is an injustice and things like that. We cannot avoid. But what we can do is think about, and again, taking some distance from the incarnated world, seeing the things more from the holistic universe, including the spiritual realm. And then, based on this thinking, we can control these emotions, okay? We can transform them into sentiments which are positive and constructive. Because otherwise, too much emotions, too much negative emotion, and this is really what's happening nowadays with all these wars, all these threats and ultimatum, and it's terrible what's happening in the world nowadays. So you need to be very strong in order not to fall into losing the control and then entering in a kind of a vicious circle, as I just explained.
Can I just comment something about that? So what I said in the beginning, so that is spiritualism or spiritualistic view and this sensitiveness. Someone called me recently, definitely a medium, an ostensive medium, saying, Rodrigo, I have these things going on with me, and I don't know what's going on, because sometimes I stop and I'm feeling sadness, I'm feeling, happiness, I'm feeling many things that all of a sudden I start feeling that, and I don't know where it's coming from. And on top of that, sometimes I start talking things that I don't know where it's coming from, and people don't understand what I'm saying. They think I'm crazy. And of course, what the person has is a mediumship, an ostensive mediumship. But the person said, Rodrigo, and then I start speaking about Spiritism, what Spiritism brings in terms of perspective about mediumship, what it is for, no? And the person said, "Oh, stop! I don't believe in this kind of spiritual things. So I'm atheist. So I don't believe on that." I said, "You have a good reason to start believing." So because of course the person was interacting with the spiritual world. The important things here is that independently, if you have a spiritual view of life, mediumship happens. And it's very good that we understand that in order to explain and to help people, because as Elsa said, and also Charlie, so some people, sometimes they have this kind of things that they don't know where it's coming from. And they go to the doctors, they go to many places, they go to the exorcists or whatever, and it's not healed. So because it's not something that to be healed, it's something to be controlled in order for this not to control ourselves. Sorry, and it's a good source indeed of self-awareness, because these things we will be attracting, as Charlie said. So we are anthems. So we attract spirits according to who we are. So we syntonize and then we attract. So if we are feeling sadness, which are not coming from us, or if this is affecting us somehow, it's because there's something in us that, in ourselves, that we need to change in order to syntonize, to adjust our anthem and to connect with good spirits, which are for sure bringing us better feelings or calm, less anxiety, hope, all of this.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you. Charles, Spiritism Estonia, our friend said, I don't like this sensitivity. I need to always think how to protect myself, and not always I can protect myself, especially when spirits visit my mother. I'd like to everyone comment what he said here, but I feel we need now differentiate what it is, sensitivity and mediumship. There are those are two different things. And I'd like Charles to start with you if you kick off with these comments.
Yes, so both are closely linked for sure, sensitivity and mediumship. Mediumship, the word is used when there is an interaction with a third party spirit, another spirit. But a person can have a sensitivity, a kind of a sixth sense, as we tell sometimes, perceiving some things without involving another discarnated or incarnated spirit. Okay, so that is basically the difference. But when I see the comment of Spiritism in Estonia, I can understand it, and this is why we always say it's a lot of people would like to be medium, but we need to know what it is to be medium. It's not always very easy, I would say, because of this higher sensitivity, or let's say perceiving stronger the influence of the other spirits. You are somehow compelled and obliged to do much more effort into controlling this sensitivity, exactly like Spiritism in Estonia is telling. I need always to think how to protect myself, and not always I can protect myself So we have to learn about this protection. So this is one aspect of the question and the comment. The second aspect of the question and the comments is when you have this higher sensitivity or mediumship, it obliges you to be much more careful with what you think. And this is a lever which is very strong to help you in becoming a better person or to help our spirit in progressing. Okay, so it can be seen as a constraint, but somehow the result of this constraint can be seen also as an opportunity for growing and for improving. Okay, and then this is part of this new concept, or a new concept a couple of decades ago now, of spiritual intelligence. Spiritual intelligence is take advantage of adversity in order to grow. And this is, how to say, a very strong lever for our evolution. But again, it's not like just like this. I have a high emotion, so everything is fine. No, I have a higher sensitivity. So I need to take care more than, let's say, an average person on what am I reading? Do I pray regularly? Do I manage to control my thoughts? And to ask all these fundamental questions. And as Rodrigo told, people which have a high sensitivity, but which is materialist, which doesn't believe in spirits and things like that, he is losing part of the comprehension, of how to get it under control. But again, it requires effort. You have nothing without nothing. There is no progress without difficulty or without pain. When everything is okay, everybody accommodates, and in those periods, generally you get into routine and you don't progress. So real progress is coming when you are challenged, when there are new things popping up, when there are, when you feel stronger, these spiritual influences, and that is then when you overcome it. And again, I mean, the person who has a high sensitivity or the person who has a high, some mediumship, the best way to live with it and to get it under control is to understand it. And that's exactly why the Spiritist body of knowledge is here to help us in understanding these mechanisms. Because, fighting against something you don't understand is much more difficult than fighting against or to control something when you understand it. Because the spirits, we don't see them with our five senses. We need this sensitivity or the sixth sense to perceive it. But even if we don't have the sixth sense, they will influence us, they will influence our thoughts, our intuitions, whatever. They may give us these moments of sadness, or as it has been explained at the beginning. So even without mediumship, we suffer this influence. And it's always an advantage to know what it is about, where it can come from. So in order you are strong to be stronger to face it, and even face it. The same comment from Spiritists in Estonia, to the inconvenience of it, but also turn it into an advantage and a lever for growing better, for having a progress, a quicker progress of our spirits towards happiness.
Good. Thank you, Charles. Thank you.
Can I add something?
Yeah,
Stevan?
of course.
Yeah, because I was looking the studies of Joana de Angelis, né? What is the
Yeah.
difference between emotional sensitivity and mediumship? It is beautiful the way that she explained, okay? Because when we study the psychological works of Joana de Angelis, that is Spiritism in a different vision, we are invited to look deeply into the human soul in its many layers of perception. That is something very important. Emotional sensitivity refers to a natural human capacity, as Charles explained very well, a heightened awareness of feelings, energies, and environments. Sensitivity, sensitive individuals tend to perceive nuances in emotions, both their own and those of others. They may feel deeply, intuitively, and sometimes intensively. However, this sensitivity belongs to the psychological and emotional field of the individual. Charles pointed. I'm only bringing Joanna D'Angelo now, okay? In mediumship, on the other hand, goes beyond this inner perception. It involves an actual interaction or exchange with the spiritual dimension, a faculty through which a person can perceive, receive, or transmit influence from spirits. And Joanna de Angelis says, gently reminds us that not all sensitivity is mediumship, and Charles explained already. Many people who feel deeply are simply expressing a refined emotion and psychological sensitivity, not necessarily a spiritual communication. Understanding this difference is essential as it helps avoid confusion and brings balance. Emotional sensitivity calls for self knowledge, emotional education, and inner harmony. Mediumship, when present, requires responsibility, study, and ethical guidance, as Estonia is doing. Now she's doing twice the gospel, this connectivity per week. In both cases, the invitation is the same to grow in awareness, to cultivate inner balance, and to transform our perceptions into tools for love, understanding, and service. That is, as summarize more or less what Charles said, but with the
Mhm.
vision of Joanna de Angelis. You can read all the 16 books of psychological series, and you find good guidance there, for sure.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. So, Rodrigo, it's your turn, and it's good to say because you have your counterpart in New York, Ponte de Luz in New York. Say congrats to Ponte de Luz in España.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are all the spirit centers and also other spiritualistic centers and religions are punto de luz, are point of light in this world which we need more spiritual view of life.
Yeah.
But yes, I think the what Elsa said is very important because I think also that sometimes this kind of sensitivity, which is more related to mediumship side, as you said, comes to help people to feel others without the mediumship. Because I think we have a very difficult, not I think overall we are learning how to create empathy with others. I mean, sometimes we have many people surrounding us, but we don't pay attention to what they're feeling, what we are simply isolated in our selfishness, caring for our own affairs, and we don't have this connection with others. We don't perceive others' feelings, and we don't sometimes donate ourselves to give a word of relief or and to practice charity, donating our time and perceiving others. I think when we don't have that, I think mediumship helps because we ended up feeling uh, others' feelings and thoughts independently of if we want or not. Because, as you said, mediumship is an organic capacity, faculty, which independs of our will, our desire to have it or not. And for those who sometimes they don't accept. Sometimes people they come to us in the spiritual center and say, "Hey, Rodrigo, I want this I want to get relieved of this. I don't want this with me." And unfortunately, I need to say that we cannot get rid of that because it is something we asked for mediumship is something we ask for when coming to this incarnation, which is a school for us to develop our progress, for more progress, which is more than anything is to develop love. And love has to do with perceiving others, understanding others, knowing that we are not alone. And we need to we are not isolated. Everything we do is interconnected with others. So I think this is something that is help. When we don't have the empathy, sometimes the mediumship or this sensitivity helps us to develop that, because we need to feel it anyhow. This is my comment. And another thing is that when people they have this situation, sometimes I'm feeling some sadness that I don't know where it's coming from. It's a good opportunity to practice charity, because for sure there might be a spirit surrounding which is suffering, and the best we can do is to serve. And serving, we are not getting rid of this spirit, we are helping the spirit. And instead of getting rid of let's say, someone, a nasty perception, or a spirit which is not, it's causing harm to us, we are helping the spirit and we are gaining a friend. I think that's what I would like to say.
Good, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, I wish we can choose. I want to be a medium, or I don't want to be a medium. I want to be sensitive. I don't want to be sensitive. But as Chico Xavier, a Brazilian medium, said, and also Divaldo said, the bell rings from there to here, not the other way around. And when they ring the bell, it means we are prepared, even though we think we are not. And when these bells ring, we need to educate ourselves by studying, reading, and doing the correct exercise. You need to get the the first and innermost important thing it is get self-confidence, but with reason, because when you trust, when you have that feeling this is gonna be okay, you trust. You cannot be afraid of it. Not all the feelings you feel it is bad, but at the same time we needed to question. We needed to use Kardec, reasonable faith. Oh, I am a medium. I got a message from, I don't know, from Kardec. Are you sure? And when someone says to you, are you sure? You need to be humble enough to say, I don't know. Let's check. Let's looking for the evidences. So when we act like this, we are prepared. And unfortunately, when we question the mediumship or the sensitivity of anyone, the first thing to say, we got a defensive way. No, it's me. No, I really just wait. Just wait. Just use our reasonable faith. So, I have, let me see if I have comments here. So, Spiritism in Estonia said, Charles, that's true. The situation at home became better when I started to read gospel according to Spiritism more than one time per week and praying. There is no way to say, but that's the recipe. That's the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. We know that we are in an environment with a lot of things around in the air, with a lot of microorganisms, with acarians and with virus and whatsoever. So what do? We wash our hands. We use hygiene. We use masks from time to time. So this is to protect us from physical influences, let's say so, or aggressions. And the same is valid for spiritual influences. We have to apply also a kind of hygiene, but which is not material, which is moral. So we have to be careful with our thoughts. And including the people which have this mediumship or which have sensibility, they feel it immediately. As the Spiritism just said, it improved a lot by having good readings, prayings, and so on. And the mediums, they, as soon as they, how to say, take a little bit less care of this mental hygiene, they immediately feel the pressure which is increasing of the spiritual influences which are not on a good direction. And this is also something you explained very well, Stevan. We need to have discernment. We need to be capable to make the difference between what is true and what is fake, or what is good and what is evil. We need to have this difference to know to discern what is in harmony with natural laws and what is not in harmony. Because sometimes when we are, how to say, we can be misled. We can think some things. Okay, this is not a problem, and in fact, when you think a little bit better about this, it is a problem. And this needs study. It needs reflection. It needs prayers, seeking the good influences, knowing, for instance, that we have a spiritual mentor. Each of us, me, Elsa, Stevan, Rodrigo, Spiritism in Estonia, whoever, we all have a good spirit which is here, which has the mission to help us in everything. So this is the one we have to seek, how to say, to come closer to him, because this will then, how to say, multiply by 10 what we would be capable to do alone without his assistance. And this is part of this power of the soul that, again, the people who are materialists, they lose a big part of it. Or they
Lovely,
miss a big part of it.
lovely, lovely. And I would say, Charles, we need to be humble enough to understand, is this my thought or this is a really true sensitivity? Because sometimes we mistaking our desire to do something, or say something to someone, and we blame. Oh, I just felt this. I had to say this to you. The question here is: it is your thought, it is your sensitivity, it is your mediumship. What it is?
Yeah, but even this is not always very easy to discern. One of the big the difficulty of mediumship is exactly what is coming from my own spirit and what is coming from a third spirit. A lot of times it doesn't matter as long as, again, the first filter is applied. Is it good? Is it true? Is it good? If it's true and good, if it comes from our own spirit, fine. If it comes from another spirit, fine as well. So in those cases, making that second difference is not so essential. But on the other hand, when there are bad thoughts, that is then where we always have to be aware that we can be influenced negatively. But what is our answer to this? Are we really, how to say, immune to these things? Or is it touching some things that we still have to correct in ourselves through the moral reform? And always there, in those cases, we always have to say, how can I close this door? Because it's up to me to open or to close a door to such type of influences. Once the door is closed, they can try, they will see that you do not follow, you do not react, or you discard as soon as they come. So they will give up and go somewhere else, you know. And this is also another way to how to say, important thing to understand in order to get our emotions under control and to increase our emotional intelligence and also our spiritual intelligence.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my friends. And we needed to, once, I want to emphasize on this, because once we start to understand how it works, once we start to use our reason of faith, this sensitivity or mediumship stop to be a burden and start to be a blessing. So what are the Elsa, you like this the topic, but what are the practices to help us to balance this sensitivity or mediumship?
You said the question to me, Steven.
Yes.
Okay, because
Yeah,
your
because you
voice.
like this topic. You like this.
Yeah, because I have two references in order to know how to do things. In order with mediumship and sensitivity, is the Joanna Judge Psychological Studies and the Medium's book. The Medium's book, note, is the first encyclopedia of studies in mediumship in organized way. So we know everything as basically what that said the Dr. Andrew Power, a psychiatrist, and Dr. Peter Fennick. This book is amazing because it helps psychiatrists understand what's going on with their patients, okay? The ones that are open mind, okay? And Joanna D'Angelo said, when we reflect on sensitivity through the teachings of Spiritism, we understand that the balancing is essential in the medium's book. Allan Kardec teaches that any form of mediumship or perceived sensitivity must be guided by discipline, study, and moral development. Moral development is the basis of everything that we can really go further. Jesus said, your faith save you or help you. Something like that in English. A sua fé se salvou, in Portuguese. So that means I am the one that can develop my own higher moral. Okay? Moral is the teachings of the universe. Without this, a person may become confused, overwhelmed, or influenced by external impressions. And Joanna D'Angeli's spirit, through Divaldo Franco medium, deepens this understanding from a psychological perspective. She reminds us that sensitivity is not a problem. And Charles said this as well, and Rodrigo pointed as well, but a faculty that must be educated. When unbalanced, it can lead to anxiety, emotional overloaded, or misinterpretation of inner and outer experiences. So, what helps us to maintain balance? Historia said that first, prayer, meditation. It harmonizes our inner state and connects us with the higher spiritual influences. Second, Reflection and self-knowledge. Understanding our own emotions help us distinguish what belongs to us from what we may come from outside. We don't say more because Charles already said. Third, study, especially of works like the Medium's book, which brings guidance and clarity, preventing illusions or misunderstandings. Through the study of Spiritist philosophy or body of knowledge, we open doors, dissolve inner barriers, and deepen our understanding of spiritual life, the true life. And finally, healthy emotional boundaries, learning not to absorb everything around us, but to remain centered and grounded. That are guidance that we should go and add if you are a religious person and feel all these sensitivities or things that you don't understand, add to your knowledge these clarifications that the Spirit's book, the Medium's book, the Gospel according to Spiritism can bring and help us. That is our guidance for cases like that. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. My friends, it's 7 minutes to end this conversation. I'd like to know your final thoughts. Rodrigo, let's start with you, my friend.
Well, thank you, Stevan, and thank you for everyone. I think it has been a good conversation. We could stay here for hours discussing about this topic because there's a lot to be said. But I think essentially it's sensitivity is an opportunity, as we have already said, to perceive suffering and to help. I think we are here and we are not alone. So we are here to learn to be more empathic, to perceive others, to help others. We have our sufferings, we have our pain, but there are others also suffering, and we can help somehow. I think with spirituality we can pray, as Elsa said, because when we pray for those souls, we are serving and we are caring for others, even though they don't have a body, a physical body. But we can do that, and this, of course, will help us understand suffering and will help us to be, empathic and to evolve morally speaking, because that's why we are here for, not to care for ourselves only, but also to care for others, and doing that we can progress, and someday we can be pure spirits co-creating with God. Meanwhile, in the meantime, we need to learn, and we need to, and sensitivity mediumship is a good way to do that. Let's take advantage of that, and let's serve. Let's use that to serve. Doing that, will be connecting with the good spirits, and they will help us, of course. So that's what I would like to say.
Thank you, Rodrigo. And dear Elsa? You're on mute, my
You're
dear.
in mute.
The same as Rodrigo said, we have to look for guidance and what we have in our hands. The Medium's book, the Gospel according to Spiritism, that help us with the prayer, meditation, understand the prayer, the format of the prayer, especially in the chapter 28, the Gospel, give us the guidance, how we can really protect ourselves. Okay? That's it. Thank you so much. Next week we'll be here again.
Thank you. Charles?
Yes, indeed. Let's remove our blinds. Let's open ourselves to this spiritualist paradigm and to understand all this. Because even amongst these spiritual entities who influence us, a lot are from our own family. A lot need help. A lot we may have harmed in the past. And the fact to be aware of this leads us to one of the nicest way to keep everything under control is, okay, let's help them, let's assist them, let's do this charity across, the incarnated realm and the spiritual realm, knowing that we are part of both. We are incarnated, but we have a spirit, which is also, that is where the sensitivity comes to the spiritist influence. And this helps us also in the today's world. We need peace. We need, these influences are also coming now through new ways, fake news, manipulations, and so on. And indeed, I'm very happy to see that even when sometimes in some countries with strong pressure, mediatic pressure and lying and trying to do everything in order to influence the people, at the end, you see sometimes the people react to it and they use their intelligence before they express their wish into some elections, for instance. It happened quite recently. I don't tell which country. I think you may guess, but this is really something that, for me, is a very good news. We are sometimes in despair. How will we come out of this situation in the world? But it's here. Majority of the population woke up and got aware in the conscience. So that's a really very, very good sign for the future of our planet. And I think we are slowly but surely progressing in the way of having a peaceful planet.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And I want to say thank you for Spiritism in Estonia, for your comments, NGH Passageira, also to Adriana Pellegrino, João Eduardo, Gilmar Borges, Jennifer Valério, Sônia Chaves, Patrocínio José. So thank you for being here with us. Our dear friend Lou VM, long time don't see you, Lou. I hope you're okay. Our friend Ruben from Copenhagen, Life Spiritism Society. So thank you for joining us and stay with us today. So let me go to the announcements. Okay, and there we go. Here. Okay, so next week, our friend from Denmark, Ruben, gonna be with us. And the topic is faith and reason, how to stay spiritually balanced today. That's another excellent topic. And I'm dying to explore this topic with you, Rubens. So every Saturday, Medium's Book Study, 10:30 a.m. is open to anyone. Just join the group on Saturdays, 10:30 a.m. London time. So our dear friend Dana Sisi, he's in London this upcoming week. He'll be on the 20th of April next week in the AKSGS, Allan Kardec Study Group UK, celebration of the 43 years. The topic is mediumship. Also, he will be in a celebration with on Saturday on the 18th of April.
Topic for Saturday is Life After Life.
Life after life, yes, and it's important because this event on Saturday, you need to confirm your presence because we have a limited of 50 seats. Okay, so every other Sundays from 8:30 to 10 o'clock, we do have the study with Dr. Anaí Fonseca, the study from Joana de Angelis, so everyone is more than welcome to enjoy and participate. So our talk
11th of April.
11th of April, yeah, but we are on the 15th of April. Yeah. Yeah. So, our Jan Diaz spoke about how can we grow as individuals by using spiritism teachings. So, it's recorded in YouTube. So, Kardec Radio is moving and getting their brand new office. It is a joint office with Spiritism Society of Virginia, Kardec Radio, Kardec Publisher, the Spiritist Magazine, Spiritist Support for Parents, Spiritist Program for Children and Youth. And the inauguration gonna be on this Sunday, April 19 at 11 a.m. in Chantilly, in Virginia. So, well done to all members from the Kardec Radio for this wonderful achievement. We know how hard it is to get it. Please save the date. On September, from 18 to 20 of September, we will have the Spiritism gathering in person. And also we will have the kids and the youth gathering at the same time in Vergemont, Belgium. Everyone is more than welcome. Don't need any study, any background, nothing. Just need your openness and you're willing to go. Please keep reading Spiritism Magazine. It's free and always with wonderful content. Thank you for our supporters, Kardec Radio, Buzz, Movement Spirit Francophonic, Irish Spiritist Federation, and Life Spiritist Society from Denmark. So thank you all for being here with us. And this is it from us. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your patience. I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. London time. Rodrigo, gracias.
Gracias a vosotros. Hasta luego. Muchas gracias por la oportunidad.
Elsa, thank you. Charles, merci.
God bless. Merci.
God bless you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.